So, Kyle, I could probably introduce you, but I would love it if you could introduce yourself.
All right. Am I looking at the camera, looking at you?
I would say look here.
All right. My name's Kyle Harrison, Baltimore, Maryland. I've been playing lacrosse since I was 4. Went to Johns Hopkins University, won a national championship. Now I live out in California and play LXM Pro.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about this event and why it is important?
Yeah. You know, it's important for me to make sure wherever I travel a lot for Nike and STX and Playmaker and LXM and send me all over the place. So everywhere I go, I try and figure out some way to get into an underserved community, or not even necessarily an underserved community, just kids who haven't been exposed to the game, and teach them the game. Because honestly, when I was younger and started playing lacrosse, granted I was from Baltimore, so it's a little more prevalent there, but I had no idea that it would get me into college, that it would let me travel around the world, that it would let me move from Baltimore to California and start my life there. Like, it's just given me so much opportunity that I didn't know existed. So I want to make sure that everywhere I go, I find some group that's never heard of the sport before and tell them as much as I possibly can about it. Because honestly, if you would have told me 10 years ago this is what I'd be doing for a living, I'd have never believed it.
It's fantastic. I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Hit it.
So what was the most memorable thing child said or did to you during this event?
You know, honestly, man, I'm still learning about, this is my first time or second time to Harlem, and I'm still learning about the community and where I am, but I think what stood out to me the most about these kids, as opposed to the kids I'm with nonstop, whether that's in Orange County or everywhere else I travel to, they were all so appreciative. Every single one of them, thank you, hugs, handshakes, everything. And I could, you know, it's not the first time a kid said thank you to me, clearly, but you can almost tell they meant it a lot more, you know, and they're really excited that we came out here and did this for them. And so I can't pinpoint one specific thing, but just how appreciative I could tell that they were here.
Cool. Could you compare your first ever lacrosse experience with a stick to maybe what this was like for them and what the difference might be?
Well, yeah, I mean, the funny part about, or the difference between my first experience and theirs is, like, we're in the middle of Harlem right now, we're out in the basketball court, and, you know, some of them have never heard of the sport, never even seen a stick before, whereas me, I'm from Baltimore, my dad played, so from the time I could walk, you know, I had a stick and I was, like, figuring it out. So I don't think there's much comparison, but I think this one's a lot cooler, that's for sure.
So, a little bit off of the event and just into lacrosse in general, what do you think the most important trend in lacrosse today is and why?
I am so happy that finally in our sport, people are starting to take training seriously. I'm talking like, I mean, there's a bunch of other issues in our sport, from, you know, getting into different communities to the rules. There's a bunch of other things, but as far as me personally, what I'm most excited about to see right now is that I think for a while there was a culture of, like, it was really cool to not really practice all that much and just kind of show up and have stick skills and talk in this weird language, and I don't know, I wasn't into it. And I think now, at the professional level and then clearly at the college level, there's so much more emphasis put on training and becoming a better athlete. And I think that's why you're seeing our sport blow up the levels that we never expected it to. That's why, you know, there's so much parity in college lacrosse. That's why the Player of the Year just came from Portland, which is unheard of, you know. Guys are training, guys are taking it seriously as an athlete, not just a lacrosse player who's showing up to play. So I'm really excited to see that.
Well, you kind of answered my next question. I was going to ask if you believe the parity in college lacrosse is indicative of the rising and spreading of lacrosse.
No, I mean, honestly, the parity in our sport, it's growing. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, it's been growing for a while, you know, and when I say growth, I mean, like, people in Texas are playing, Seattle are playing, Denver, California, Portland, all those places are playing, and they have been for a while now. But the reason I think we're seeing parity is because we're having Division I guys, Division II, Division III guys that played at a high level now move to Seattle and move to Texas and move to Denver and move to these places. So kids are being coached the right way to play it. And, you know, again, Peter Baum is a great example. He's a guy that played in the West Coast system, and he learned from former Division I players. And then the kid went from Portland back east to play, and now he's just Player of the Year at the Division I level. So I think the parity in lacrosse is only going to continue because kids are being coached the right way now in all these growth markets.